A journalist must investigate a mysterious videotape which seems to cause the death of anyone 1 week to the day after they view it. This movie taught us an important lesson. Sometimes it's better to just let unknown videotapes remain unwatched. But on the bright side, I don't think the tape is available on Netflix or Hulu, so we should all be fine. Get your popcorn ready, or if you're in your car, maybe pick yourself up a little Starbucks. You're going to need a little sweet treat as we dive into one of the most iconic films of the early 2000s, The Ring.
Have you heard about this videotape that kills you when you watch it? You start to play it, and it's like somebody's nightmare. And as soon as it's over, your phone rings. And what they say is, you will die in 7 days. I watched the tape. Before you die, you see the ring. The images on the tape are leading us somewhere. Did she show you the horses?
Don't you understand, Rachel?
Tell me, Liz. What is it you think you know?
Welcome to another episode of the Chamber of Chills. I'm Cameron.
And I'm Adam.
And today, as pre-trailer me said, we are going to be talking about a classic.
Oh, yes.
Absolute banger.
Banger of a film.
Yes, today we are talking about The Ring. Are we just diving?
I say we dive.
I always ask you if it's time to dive. And every time I know the answer, I just have to make
I'm
sure.
like, no, wait, actually I don't want to dive yet.
Let's just sit right here.
Yeah.
All right.
Dive into this well.
Let's... This film is ranked number 35 out of 50 on our top 50 horror films of all time list. It is The Ring, as we have said already.
Oh.
Yeah, it's called The Ring. It came out in 2002, and it is classified as a horror/mystery. It's rated PG-13, which I found interesting.
Pretty wild.
I guess it kind of checks out. But
yeah.
The director, did you used to look into this guy?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Dude.
So Gore Verbinski, 3 other films he did the whole Pirates franchise.
Crazy.
Which is really cool.
So off the cuff.
Yeah. I
Ring
never
to
would
the
have made that
Pirates.
connection. He also did The Lone Ranger, also starring Johnny Depp. And then he did A Cure for Wellness, which is another horror movie that we considered for the list. But
so wild.
The writer for this film was Aaron Kruger. Star cast members, we have wow, I was going to start her name off just so wrong. Naomi Watts as Rachel, Martin Henderson as Noah, and Brian Cox as Richard Morgan. As far as awards go, it won Top Box Office Film at the ASCAP Awards, as well as the Best Horror Film at the Saturn Awards. It was also nominated for Best Actress and Best Makeup at the Saturn Awards.
Interesting.
Yep. Ratings, we have a 7.1 from IMDb. And on Rotten Tomatoes, a good 71%, which is interesting. 7.1, 71.
Yeah, wow. That's too perfect.
It's cursed. Letterboxd.
It's written. It's scripted.
Letterboxd, 3.3 out of 5 stars. And then as far as financials go, the budget for the film was about $48 million, which is around $82 million today. And then for the global box office, it made $249 million, which is about $426 million today.
That is wild.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
$420 million.
Yeah.
And that's a huge budget.
It really is, especially for like a horror film.
I know.
Like.
Interesting.
And then last but not least, filming took about 12 weeks.
3 months. Not too bad. I mean, they had a lot of locations too.
Yeah, they did. So good for them.
Thank you for those film details.
You're welcome. I'll be here all day.
Oh. Will you?
Maybe.
Is it time for some summarization?
I believe so. If only we had someone here to summarize.
I know. I wish somebody had written notes to do a summary.
Wait, Adam.
Wait, I did it.
That's you.
That's me. I'll do it. Sweet. Boom. Okay. Film summary. The Ring 2002 delves into the chilling tale of a cursed videotape that spells doom for its viewers, promising death 7 days after watching, as Cameron already so well put. The narrative unfolds with Rachel Keller, a determined journalist, investigating the bizarre death of her niece and stumbling upon the urban legend of the tape. Skeptical but intrigued, Rachel's disbelief is shattered when she watches the tape and receives the ominous phone call foretelling her demise in a week. Driven by desperation and the clock ticking, Rachel embarks on a harrowing journey to break the curse. Her investigation golly. Her investigation leads her to the eerie history of the tape and its connection to Samara Morgan, a young girl with a troubled past and supernatural abilities, who is tragically mistreated and ultimately met a grim fate. As the narrative weaves through eerie discoveries and sinister revelations, Rachel uncovers the dark truth about Samara's life and death. She learns that the tape serves as a vehicle for Samara's vengeful spirit, seeking acknowledgement and release from her tormented existence. In a race against time, Rachel must piece together the puzzle of Samara's tragic story in hopes of finding a way to save herself and her son, who also falls victim to the tape's curse. The journey is fraught with supernatural encounters, psychological twists, and a pervasive sense of dread, leading to a climactic confrontation with the truth behind the curse. Also, just a big spoiler alert, there's a massive twist in this film.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember the first time watching it and being like, no!
Yeah, I know. It's so sad.
It's so sad. And I think we should just ruin it for everyone.
All right.
So if you haven't watched it, turn it off now. Leave now. Okay, the twist. So at the very end, they think that they have broken the curse just by finding Samara's body in the well and removing it and burying her body.
Yep.
And then the next day, because Rachel doesn't die, so they're like, we broke the curse. And then the next day, Noah is in his apartment and boom, the TV comes on and you're like, wait. And then freaking Samara comes out of the TV, kills Noah, and you're like, what?
I know. And
then you come to find out that the only reason the curse was broken was because Rachel copied the original tape and had her son watch it. Didn't have her son watch it, but he found the copied tape and watched it. So somebody watching a copy that you made is the only way that you are alive.
Yep. Which, crazy and like creative. I was watching it the other day when we were rewatching, and I couldn't remember how it happened, because I remembered that he died at the end, but I was like, wait, how did she break? How did she live and not him? And anyways, then I was like, the copy. You got to make a copy and pass it on to somebody else to get rid of the curse. So yeah, pretty interesting.
Super interesting.
Thank you for that summary.
Of course. Is it time to dance?
It is time to get jiggy with it.
Ooh. In the breaky bally.
The breaky. Breakdown ballroom, where we will go through our guidelines for what classifies a good horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Starting with our favorite scenes.
Ooh.
Take it away.
Okay. I'm lame.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
It's been a while.
I
haven't said the intro in a while. And I put the intro.
I did too.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better.
We're in it together.
So just diving right into the plot. I love it.
Yeah.
It felt like somewhat reminiscent of 80s horror intros. Like Scream.
Okay, yeah. Yes, totally.
It kind of gave me that vibe.
Yeah.
These teenagers kind of like
It feels a lot like the start of a Scream film.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just loved how you just immediately thrown into it in a different story that spikes the plot.
Yes.
Have you heard about this videotape that kills you when you watch it?
What kind of tape?
A tape. A regular tape. People rent it. I don't know. You start to play it, and it's like somebody's nightmare. Then suddenly, this woman comes on, smiling at you, right? Seeing you through the screen. And as soon as it's over, your phone rings. Someone knows you've watched it. And what they say is, you will die in 7 days. And exactly 7 days later,
Who told you that?
somebody from Rivera
Who
Island.
told you?
What's your problem?
I've watched it.
It's a story, Katie.
No, me and Josh, we saw it last weekend.
I thought you were with your parents.
I wanted to tell you.
You were with Josh all
Some of his
weekend?
friends got this place up in the mountains. They were trying to record a football game. I guess the reception was so
What are you
bad.
talking about?
Listen to me. When we played the tape, the game wasn't there. It was...
What was it?
It was something else.
I also appreciate, and that you can't do this obviously in the Scream films, but something that I appreciated here, and I've talked about in other episodes, not showing Samara. I'm gonna butcher her name.
Wait,
I'm sure.
what did I say? Samara?
What do you? I don't know.
I think I've been saying Samara, but I think it is Samara.
I don't know.
I'm stupid.
Either one.
Just
I don't know.
listen to me. I always pronounce names wrong. So
I could very. What did I say? I said like can the other day or something.
Dude, I said Kane. I've been saying Canes for so long.
That's what I thought it was too. Anyways, with this whole tangent, not showing Samara at the beginning was interesting, and I appreciated that because like I loved Katie's death because she opens the door. And then it just like quickly zooms on her face and you see like that distortion already start to happen. But it doesn't show like, really anything. And I thought that was kind of fun. So
very mysterious.
A little mysterious.
One might say.
Cherry on top, also that quick shot at a couple scenes later of
Katie's body. That's exactly what I put next.
My gosh. So creepy. I remember when I was younger, that scene like really stuck with me.
Okay.
It's terrifying.
Yeah, not lingering on that shot was so perfect.
Yes, I agree.
We've already talked about this, but like fast glimpses of horrifying imagery is way more unsettling than just full blown showing it in a scene.
Totally. And it was disturbing.
It was a quick cut.
Yeah.
Too.
And it almost in a way like lingers because it was so quick. Like your brain is like forced to just reflect on like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What was that?
Can you imagine being the makeup crew?
Dude,
and then you see the final cut and you're like, wait, that was it?
That took me 6 hours. Come on. But that was so good.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very creepy.
That's just good directing and editing.
Totally.
Yeah, I also said that. I said the actual tape itself.
Oh my gosh.
Did you say
that was my next one?
Did we copy each
Look at us.
Just pretty grotesque and fascinating imagery.
Yeah.
The change between the bugs crawling around each other, switching to people crawling.
Oh my gosh.
Was like, to me, the wildest part of the whole thing. It was so subtle. It felt very surrealistic.
Totally,
to me. It was like a surrealistic film.
Yeah, which honestly, I would say it was kind of like ahead of the time because like right now that's a very popular, like I went to a museum kind of like that called Meow Wolf where it's very surreal, but in like 2002 that was pretty cool. Like it was very artsy in a way, and so I really liked it. It's very creepy, very effective. So
I totally agree.
I'm sure like that was fun to make for them too because they could just throw
wild
anything they
imagery.
want.
But it was still symbolic too, like she Rachel discovers later, which is cool.
My next one, I said Rachel waking up and then finding Aiden in front of the TV.
Oh, dude.
And the tape is like in the last like 3-4 seconds and it just turns off and then she screams. You're like, oh my gosh. Like, because it just like takes it there. Because you were already kind of with Rachel, like, what is going on? What's the story? But now there's like extra because Aiden now is cursed by the tape. So it's like, oh my gosh, now she's got to really figure this out or else they're all dead.
It ups the stakes by like 10 to 1,000. I totally agree. And like you kind of get chills in that scene because you're like, oh my gosh. Like,
He's just a little boy. It's so, terrible.
I did say before that I liked the nightmare scene with the rope in Rachel's throat and Samara and the chair. We love a good nightmare sequence, nothing wrong with that. Haven't had one of those in a while. So had to bring it up.
Yeah. Anything goes. Mine's kind of jumping a little bit.
So does mine.
I said the well when she fell down.
Okay.
Because I liked at that point, I remember, and I don't know if it's like all in that one moment. I can't remember, but I do like how they kind of tie up a lot of the loose ends there and they kind of show you what happened to Samara.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really interesting. Just seeing kind of how terrible they treated her, the parents.
Yeah. What are you talking about? They were so great.
Yeah. And like her fingernails like being lodged in the stone, and it was very creepy, but just kind of gives you a little sense of like, oh, all right. It also, though, like we were saying about the twist, it sets up the twist well because after it feels very conclusive to the point where you're like, oh man, it's all over. Like, thank goodness they did it. So I think it just sets up well.
Yeah, I completely agree. I put the same thing and I made the same comment about the fingernails and the scratch marks on the walls. It's just unsettling. I know.
On the same track. My goodness.
I will say, oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's really, I could see though, like this movie of all of them being there's only like certain points that really like stand out.
Yeah. that are iconic for a
Yeah,
reason.
yeah.
Before that, though, I did make a little note of the barn scene
Oh,
because
yeah.
I just thought it was kind of sickening finding out where the dad kept
Yeah.
Samara in that little room in the
Yeah,
barn with the
totally.
big ladder, which is where you find out that's the symbol, you know?
Yeah.
And you kind of start to feel bad for Samara.
Yeah.
And that's where that's the moment you start to feel, sympathy for her.
Yes.
But it's,
Yeah.
Then you find out,
Was
oh my
she-
gosh.
Was she like a bad, like, omen basically on the island? Like, she was like, because I know when she was not a normal child, this is obviously like, there are reasons why her parents treated her the way they did. But
Yeah.
that was one thing I didn't take away, or maybe I missed it at some point.
Well,
But
one
was
thing,
she like,
I
was she
didn't-
just a normal little girl, or is she like terrible or like haunted in some way? Like, kinda
apparently she was supernatural.
Okay.
And I made a note of that like later on, but something about she could project images from her mind onto things.
oh,
Which is
I
why
did
there's
not
that like
know
that whole tree burned into the wall. Like she did that with her
Ah.
mind. So
Man.
I know, which
Okay.
they only allude to it, which I'm kind of glad they only allude to it because I think it could have gotten cheesy if
Yeah,
they tried
totally.
to get into the weeds on that. But
Okay.
that's what they have those like little images.
Uh-huh.
But I'm sure we both put I only have one more.
Yeah, me too.
The climax
Yes.
with Noah.
Yeah.
Dude. There's only one part of that scene, and I'm sure you know that what I'm going to say that I don't like. Maybe you don't.
Wait. I'm trying to think through the scene.
I say it all the time about monsters and
Oh, was it showing her face?
Yes.
The smile?
yes.
Yeah. Or
The
not
smirk.
smile. She like makes
She
like
just,
a.
smirks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that whole scene and then Noah freaking out, it was just so good because you're
Yeah.
just pissed off. She's like, no.
Yeah. The water like following, like dripping off of her. Like she was soaked. And it was just so cool how she like crawls
Yeah.
through the TV and the water has the perspiration on it. And
Well, I just remember that first time seeing it and you see his TV come on and you're like,
Yeah. I know.
no.
I know. Well, yeah, that. And then when he lifts his glass of water and the ring is on the table from like the watermark. And yeah, super
Crazy.
good.
But yeah, her smirking.
That scene, I'm sure that's like one of those scenes from a horror film where like if you Googled it on YouTube, it would probably have like 60 million views because it's just such a creepy like horror scene that like I'm sure people just can't get enough of. It's just kind of classic horror.
Dude, I'll look it up right now.
I was going to say, actually, we probably could look it up pretty quickly. It was, I mean, it's very creepy. And her hair like dangling in front of her face and crawling out of the well. It's all just, ugh, no bueno. Oh no.
Well, the one that I'm finding is there's probably more. Is the
60,000 views.
it's like there's 4 views, 8.2 million, which is still a lot, but
Yeah, not as much as I thought.
I thought it was gonna be way more. Too.
Wow. Yeah, 8.2 mil.
Interesting.
Well, I lost all credibility.
I'm like, you're fired.
60 million views. I really thought it might. That's crazy.
Oh,
Okay,
that's funny,
hey,
though.
whatever.
That's
It's fine.
funny. Yeah, no, it's fine.
But yeah, it's a great scene.
It is a great scene.
8 million of us know that.
8 million people agree. Concept. Okay, so we were just reviewing Talk to Me a
Yeah.
couple of weeks ago about viral videos.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if this was real today?
Yeah.
How many people would die?
Once a year, maybe.
Dude,
You know,
yeah,
not a lot.
crazy.
But at the time, the concept is pretty crazy.
yeah, I know.
I guess that's true. That parallel is interesting because it really is.
Once
like,
a year,
Talk to Me.
what you're talking about if it was like VHS, right?
Yeah.
What if it was like online?
Oh, see, then that
Everyone would die.
everyone would
That's
be
what I'm
dead. Oh, so you're going from that route. Yeah, if it was that direction, we'd all be done.
We'd all be dead. Well,
because we all love like, you know,
especially me and you, because
yeah.
we're very curiosity killed the cat
Oh my
oriented.
gosh. Yeah.
And so if somebody was like, there's a video where if you watch it, you die in 7 days, we'd be like, no way. And then we'd
Totally
watch it.
watching that.
Yes, we're going to
Yeah.
watch it. So
I can already hear our wives. Yeah, but for the time, I do think the concept was really cool. Like the whole, you know,
Mhm.
countdown and like it was like some weird twisted like genie in a bottle. You know,
Yeah.
just I thought it was super cool.
yeah.
But and I also like that it was like really mysterious. Like they really play into like
Dude,
this is like an investigative case that they're just trying to kind of unravel.
It's not a
So,
typical
not just a
horror
bunch of
film.
blood and jump scares. So
Yeah. No, I literally put the same note. I said I like how mysterious it is. It felt like a detective meets horror.
my goodness, maybe
What
we
in
need
the
to
world? I know.
like take a break. We're on the same wavelength. I can't talk.
I made one more note too. I mean, of course, it's iconic. I loved the day countdown.
Yeah,
The stakes are raised right off the bat. You have a timeline you have to hit. I remember the 7 days countdown and the girl coming out of the TV being super iconic for its
Yeah.
time. Like that
yeah,
was just a really big deal.
definitely.
But which going back to the virality concept, I saw. Did you ever see Rings? One of the sequels or whatever.
No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure that they include that in like some sort of viral way, and like it like
Really?
ends up on YouTube.
Ugh.
But I
Yeah.
don't.
That would take us all out.
I don't know. Yeah.
That reminds me, like, I remember when I was younger and like playing with the kids in the neighborhood, and you do like all of the like Bloody Mary. I remember us standing in the bathroom and like, oh my gosh, like
Dude.
there's a part of me that was like, what if she's here?
Dude, we've all been there.
Yeah.
I vividly remember specific memories of like my friends convincing me to do that, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, what if she shows
I know
up?
it's like a little sleepover party.
Oh yeah.
Director's touch.
Director's touch.
I think he did a great job.
Yeah, me too.
I could tell that he took his time with it, gave it all he had, which is really as much as you can ask for in
Yeah.
filmmaking. So I thought it was great.
You can see how he transitioned from this to Pirates.
Yeah, totally.
it's
Yeah,
so
you
similar.
just see everything. I love the part with the Kraken and Davy Jones. It's great. But no, I did think he did a really good job, especially knowing that he didn't have as much of a background in horror. I mean, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. What's funny is I said he made it feel like it was a pretty high budget film.
Yeah.
Turns out it was.
Yeah, turns
So-
out.
But I think he did the concept justice. I also liked how it wasn't a typical slasher or monster flick either.
Yeah,
It had several layers, and I appreciated that a ton.
yeah.
It was also like decently artsy, like the entire tape
It
itself.
really was, yeah.
You know, kind of being more artistic. And then the use of the symbol of a circle throughout was really great.
Yeah,
in
I
like
agree.
so many different ways.
Yeah, I agree.
Which apparently him and the cinematographer have worked together on like a lot of films, and they
Really?
include they pay like homage to The Ring in A Cure for Wellness by including some like a scene with like a bunch of circles.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to rewatch that movie. I haven't seen that one in forever. I saw it with my mom. I remember that.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it too. It's been a
Yeah.
long time.
My mom is the classic horror movie buddy. Before I had Adam.
Yeah. Sorry, Joanna.
You've been replaced.
I stole Cameron.
My taste of horror has definitely shifted though. She likes, like classic.
Oh.
And some the ones I like now she hates. So that's growing up.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Love you, Mom. What do we think about the acting?
Oh, dude. Naomi Watts is a gem.
So good.
She is so good.
I
Just-
forgot that this was before King Kong too, because that's what I really remember her from when I was
Mhm.
younger, because I was like 7 when that came out.
Yeah.
But The Ring was like a few years before that. So, man, what a freaking film to make an impact in.
I know. And I found that this was in BTS, but I'll go ahead and say it. Like, apparently he picked her because of her performance in Mulholland Drive, which I've never seen.
I haven't seen
but
that
is, like,
either.
super critically acclaimed.
Okay, we gotta add that to the
Yeah,
list.
it's funny
then.
is that's Nick
'Cause now I'm
Fleece's
interested.
like one of his favorite films of all time.
Really?
Mulholland Drive. Yeah,
Oh wow.
I know. We need to watch it.
Okay, yeah, we gotta watch that one.
So anyway,
I
but
thought she did a really good job.
yeah, I thought so too. Aiden's character, I already said this. He was a straight up man.
That's the little boy. Yeah. Dude.
As far as his acting goes, he was, a child actor. Same with Samara.
Not everyone could be Macaulay Culkin.
I know.
You know?
It's
But
just tough.
We got what we got.
And then I thought Noah's character did pretty well.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job.
Yeah, but Naomi definitely.
Naomi
steals the
really
spotlight.
stands out. She's so good.
We love you, Naomi.
Naomi.
Screenplay.
I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
And very intricate. There were certain moments that,
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have changed a little bit, but I mean, I have never written a screenplay, so I can't, can't hate on them too much. But I thought it was anything, interesting and intricate.
I
So,
agree. I said there were a few things that were definitely a bit overdramatic and kind of forced. Like,
Yeah.
even though I loved the scene at the beginning the teenage interactions,
Yeah.
especially like at the funeral or whatever, the showing or whatever. But I was thinking also how hard it would be to write realistic and being in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be pretty tough. So
Totally.
I don't really know. All right. Score?
I've been waiting on this part because
Did you?
How crazy.
Oh my gosh.
And I only saw it because of the awards that I was reading through for my part. But Hans Zimmer
did the freaking score for this film.
Who
and
knew?
Has done all of Verbinski's films.
Oh, that's right, because he did Pirates.
Because he did Pirates.
Oh
Other
my
than A Cure
gosh.
for Wellness. That's the only film he hasn't done.
That's crazy. Yeah. I was blown away when I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
freaking
shocking.
crazy.
I know.
I was literally thinking in the middle of it. I was like, for a supernatural, realistic horror film, this is a super great score.
It's really good.
It had
totally makes sense now.
Theme song, like piano melodies, was very pretty, but
yes,
like haunting.
Yeah,
man, Hans in
a horror film. That's just like match made in heaven.
I know. I never knew he did a horror film.
Yeah, me either. That alone takes the film up a notch.
Oh, totally.
So yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
Cinematography.
I thought it looked good.
The blue color grade made it feel so dark and cold.
Totally.
Very uneasy.
Yeah.
Some of the CGI I was pretty surprised by, considering it was a 2002 film. The horse falling overboard the ship.
I was going to say, the horse was crazy.
Dude, it looked real.
Yeah. I wondered if did they actually throw a horse overboard? Because it looked
sacrifice a horse for this film.
I feel like even today, that would be a hard scene to kind of,
I know,
touch up and make it look real. And I thought it looked really good. But I totally agree with the blue and the greens. It was like, made it just feel wet and cold. And which also, choosing to film in Seattle, just on the side, that's really interesting because it's always raining there. It's like a great note. Just a little detail.
Yeah, it was very nice. Very
water is definitely present in this film.
Yes. I also found a quote. I don't know if this was from the cinematographer or for somebody else, but said for the choice of the film's color, it was decided that everything was to be tinged with the color green to give the film a sickly, unnatural feeling. Sets were also lit in a way that none of the characters have a shadow to create an almost subconscious sense of creepiness.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
So just cool cinematography notes.
Yep.
Overall impact.
I feel like in a lot of ways, because I know this is an original, like it's a Japanese film, which I have not seen. I actually saw like a lot of people saying that this one sucks compared to that one, but teach their own.
Ringu or whatever?
Yeah. But as far as this one goes, I do think it kind of set this new bar for supernatural horror in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And it made way for other Japanese stories like The Grudge. Not the one from 2020 or whatever that was.
The first one, 2004.
So bad. The first one with Sarah Jessica Parker. That's actually a really good one. That's another movie that scared the crap out of me when I was little. But
crazy. Definitely
kind of set a new bar. Gave us a classic horror villain with Samara. The whole climbing through the TV and the long black hair. And like you said, the countdown. I remember those being very popular.
Yeah.
So definitely left its mark.
I was going to say, I pretty much said the same thing. Just quickly became its own like staple of horror.
Yeah.
Even the twist ending was executed so well for Verbinski to evoke that emotion in me at the age of 14.
Yeah.
It's like, he did pretty well. So I also found this quote that reiterates a lot of what you just said, but that it was a phenomenon when it came out 19 years ago, setting off a wave of J-horror, Japanese horror, remakes, rekindling the supernatural monster movie, and gave audiences one of the best shock endings of all time. But in the prestige horror era, it offers a warning about the temptations and responsibilities of sharing.
Ooh.
So
nice.
It was obviously received really well, especially with its box office success. So
definitely. That would have been a fun movie to see back in the day.
Oh, dude.
I feel like that's another one that would be... Some of these that would have been so great to see it in theaters for the first time.
I know. One day.
Okay, one day. Hey, I'm sure there's lots of movies about to come out that we'll say that when we're 80. Like, I was there.
I
remember.
I watched that film. All the Ari Aster films.
Yeah.
Robert Eggers and Ari Aster.
Totally.
Alone. Yeah. Do you hear the birds?
I hear them. They're chirping.
They're chirping. It is time for the Fact Forest. Any random and fun facts about the film or the making of the film, just BTS, which stands for behind the scenes.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. It's canes, not cans.
Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry.
Just kidding. That's my first note. Just kidding. No, it is not canes. So, first note, viral marketing campaign by DreamWorks. This is a long one, but it's crazy. Okay.
Okay. I'm buckled in.
In 2002, prior to The Ring being released in theaters, a few lucky or maybe unlucky people found an unmarked VHS tape containing the cursed video from the movie.
Nope, I'm out.
Some people reported finding the videotape placed under the windshield wiper on their car. Others claimed to find a tape left at their college dorm, while other sources indicate the tapes were left in movie theater seats.
What?
So,
that is some marketing.
An entire campaign that DreamWorks initiated.
Oh my gosh.
It gets better. The only information on the tape was the URL for a website, an openletter.com. The site was changed shortly after the release of The Ring to show a trailer from the movie, but the original version of the site didn't contain any reference to DreamWorks or The Ring by name.
Oh, wow.
Moving forward on that, early marketing attempts were made a bit too cryptic. Preview screenings taking place just a week before the wide release of the movie were only about 60 to 70% full. This led to a revamp in the marketing strategy. TV ads were created that emphasized audience reactions and clips from the film.
Okay.
So, very interesting though.
Good grief. I feel like films never do that kind of thing.
Dude, I know.
anymore.
Just like leaving VHS tapes everywhere.
I was just thinking, if I had a VHS tape that I found under my windshield wiper and I went home and plugged that bad boy in and watched it, that'd be terrifying.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what? That I'm cursed. Like, I'm actually cursed.
100%. It would just be so unsettling.
Yeah.
You're like, what did I just watch?
Yeah, I'd probably think it's like demonic in some ways. Like, it's, if it was just no context, just a random, it's creepy.
Yeah.
But props to them for the creativity.
I know. Very creative. The then co-head of DreamWorks Motion Picture Division, Walter Parks, said some gore was cut to ensure a PG-13 rating, so it's possible the lost promo videos were more gruesome than what made it into the movie.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Other actors were considered for the role of Rachel before Naomi Watts, including Gwyneth Paltrow.
Nope. Get that out of here. No way.
And Jennifer Connelly.
Okay, see, that's better.
Connelly reportedly requested rewrites due to concerns about playing an inattentive mother, which likely contributed to producers looking elsewhere.
What? That's so
She's
random.
Like, I don't want to be an inattentive mother.
That's
I
just
be an
acting.
I'm like, it's a freaking character.
Yeah.
It's in a horror film. Like,
that's really interesting.
I know.
I love her. I like Gwyneth in her roles, but not in this one at all.
Yeah.
I actually don't know any roles other than like Pepper Potts for Gwyneth.
I know. I was going to say.
Oh, she was in that movie Shallow Hal. I don't know if you ever saw that one.
Uh-uh.
Jack Black. Anyway, I'm on a tangent. Whatever.
Yeah, no, I know.
So glad it was Naomi Watts.
Connelly, I would have been interested to see. I think maybe she could have pulled it off because she's great.
I think, could have pulled it off.
But Paltrow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Paltrow's not for that role.
All right. The script for The Ring is written by, you said Aaron?
Aaron? I think it said Aaron.
Aaron. No, it's probably Aaron.
Wait,
it's like EHREN.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if
it's probably
right.
Aaron. His parents probably just like, we just don't want to.
We're going to be different.
Aaron Kruger, who previously wrote Scream 3.
Ooh.
2000.
Okay.
The rewrites were done by Scott Frank, who is known for films including Get Shorty and Logan 2017.
So never heard of Get Shorty, but Logan is great.
all the crazy different,
what on earth?
I know, so weird.
Okay.
Walter F. Parks and Laurie McDonald of DreamWorks first saw Ring, aka Ringu 1998, on a copied videotape. Within 3 hours, they agreed to pay $1 million for the rights to remake the movie.
My goodness.
So they were like, we need to do this.
Yeah. Imagine just having $1 million.
They're like, let's just pull this out.
Let's just use this to...
Hey, you mind coughing this one up? It's like paying
crazy.
for dinner.
I know.
Yeah.
You got this one. I got the last
Stupid.
one.
Yeah. Gore Verbinski started shooting The Ring while rewrites on the script were still being done. The director says starting without a locked script made things insane, and he was working more from his visual notebook rather than the script for most of the shoot.
That, I was going to say...
Dude,
it's crazy the film turned out the way it did because that's a recipe for disaster.
It's a complicated film too. I'm pretty surprised. Like,
Very.
The tree with the fiery red leaves featured in the movie is a Japanese maple. The fruit of this tree is known as a samara.
Oh, that's cool.
That was a good little Easter egg.
Yep, like that.
There's a deleted scene showing Noah going to Shelter Mountain Inn and discovering the dead body of the innkeeper. The innkeeper's TV has water surrounding it, and there are rings scrawled on notebook paper on his desk with maggots and some food. So,
I wonder if that's like out there to watch.
apparently it is. I saw a picture where like his makeup is on. So,
I'd like to see that.
again, the makeup crews is like, come on.
I know. Everything got scrapped.
In the original script for The Ring, neither Aiden nor Noah get a phone call warning them about their impending death. Rachel eventually realizes that the phone only rings at the cabin, and that, plus the tree burned on Samara's bedroom wall, helps her figure out to go back there to find the well. In the movie, the phone does ring after Aiden and Noah watch the tape, but Rachel refuses to answer it both times.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
Which that made me think like, yeah, how did she know to go back to the cabin
Yeah.
to look for the well?
Surely there's some because.
Wait, is it the maple tree? Maybe it is.
Oh, yes, I think so.
Because she sees the tree and
She's
then
like,
burned
I've
into
seen
the
that
wood.
tree, and
Okay.
yes, okay.
Okay. I was
All
like,
right,
wait
all
a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what you were talking about. Samara's ability to project images onto objects is referred to as projected thermography in The Ring. Projected thermography is a term thought to be created for the movie, but it refers to an alleged psychic phenomenon referred to as thoughtography, or in Japanese, ninsha. Samara not only imprints images onto film and videotape, she can also project images into people's minds. She also literally burns images onto other objects like the tree burned onto the wall of her room.
Oh, wow. All right.
So, well, yeah, the more you know. The cursed video is available as an Easter egg on the DVD. So select look here and press down and your cursor will disappear. Press enter. This has an interesting feature. Your remote control is disabled. Once the video has started playing, you can't stop it, pause it, fast forward, or return to the menu. Unless you turn off the TV, you're forced to watch the whole thing. When it's over, the DVD returns to the menu. Then you hear a phone ring twice before you're given control over your remote again.
Oh my gosh.
What?
That is so cool.
Dude.
Also creepy.
So creepy.
Because it feels like them affecting your remote. It would put you in that like, oh my gosh.
I'm locked.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That is cool.
I know. I was like, who does that?
Yeah.
Nobody
and the
does that
phone
anymore.
ringing as like the cherry on top. Oh,
Before you can even use your remote?
man, that's some good stuff.
I know. I was like, man, they put a lot into this.
They really did.
Until Stephen King's It 2017, this movie was the highest grossing horror remake in history, with a total worldwide gross of over
Whoa.
250 million.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
pretty wild. The massive success of The Sixth Sense 1999 was what gave Paramount Pictures the confidence to greenlight a remake of Ringu due to the rise in popularity of supernatural mysteries and thrillers.
Okay.
Sorry, two more. I know there were a lot. Producer Neil Edelstein offered the remake to David Lynch to direct, but he turned it down, which
Whoa.
makes total sense considering how surreal it was.
Yeah.
And David Lynch, very
Yeah,
surreal art
right.
director.
Huh.
All right, the last one. The ring shape motif is unique to the American remake. Koji Suzuki, the author of the novel upon which the movies are based, did not know that.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Says that the title referred to the cyclical nature of the curse, since for the viewer to survive after watching it, the videotape must be copied and passed around over and over.
That makes sense.
Which makes sense. So, okay, I'm done. Sorry, that was a lot.
No, that was very interesting.
A lot of interesting
Lots of
Easter
BTS
eggs.
for you guys.
Mishap Mountain.
The Mishap Mountain.
The level of the water in the well is not continuous. When Rachel is standing in the water, it only comes slightly above her waist. But if she were to fall from the height she did and the water was that shallow, she would have hit the bottom.
I wondered that. I was like, there's no way she's living through this.
She just falls. She's like floating in the water too.
I know.
Like it's the ocean.
Yeah.
Also, when Rachel falls into the well, the torch light reaches the end of the well. Meanwhile, earlier on, Noah says they don't know how deep it is, as the light won't reach the bottom. And when they throw a rock into the well, it takes far too long to reach the bottom for how Rachel falls in the water. So whenever Rachel's in the water, there's a light on her.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like, well, the freaking flashlight would not hit that.
Yeah.
When Rachel is using the library computer for research, the address bar in the browser seen on screen shows that the search engine she's using is really just a file stored in a folder on the desktop of her computer.
Oh, good.
So they were like, oh, we probably should just crop that out. When Noah is walking towards the TV when Samara is coming out of the well, he is barefoot. When he falls backward onto the shelves after Samara comes out of the TV, he's wearing flip-flops. Magical flip-flops.
I do not remember the
But
flip-flops.
pad your fall.
Yep.
When Aiden is drawing in the car with Noah, his clipboard changes color from blue to green, which is interesting. And then lastly, when Richard Morgan dies by electrocution in the bath, at first it shows blood, and then when you return to him dying, there is no blood in the bath.
Yeah, I noticed that one.
Yeah, same. So that's all of the
All right.
mishaps. A lot of
Man.
small continuity issues.
What a piece of crap movie.
I know, they just suck. Dude, it'd be so hard with a complicated film like this.
Yeah.
And like so many different like locations to
Ironing
keep up
out
with
all of
continuity.
yeah, that would be really tough.
Oh man.
Well, kind of on the same note, are we going to the change chamber?
I think it's time. Changey
Dreaded
chamber.
time. Well,
Is there anything that doesn't make any sense?
first of all, earlier on, slight little nitpick.
Okay.
Aiden is telling his mom that Katie warned him that she didn't have enough time or that she was about to die.
Dude, I literally put the same note.
It's pretty.
It's
like-
wild.
Yeah, it's like right in front of you though, because he's like, she knew or she told me she was gonna die. But then we saw her the night she died, and she was like mocking the tape. Like,
Yeah.
she definitely was not taking it.
She's
seriously.
not phased.
So it didn't align the way he's describing her versus how she reacted. It just, she did not think she was gonna die.
I
But,
know.
You know,
Aiden
whatever.
made that up.
I can live with it.
It didn't make any sense. On top of that, Katie's mom said she looked up other girls' hearts who have just stopped on the internet and couldn't find anything. One, hasn't this tape been around for a while, and wouldn't that lead to similar cases? And two, also knowing the history of life, has that just ever not happened?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. That is fair.
I don't know. That was just a small thing, but I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
I missed that one. That's a good point. Kind of, staying on Katie and her arc.
Oh, Katie.
My only thing, and maybe there's an explanation or maybe I'm missing something, but if these seniors who all knew each other died on the same day at the same time, wouldn't somebody else connect those dots, and make it a bigger deal? Like, I just thought it was weird that Rachel had to go like private detective mode to find out that all four of them died that same night at the same time. Like, everyone should already know that. That's a pretty crazy coincidence.
Well, even the guy at the freaking funeral thing was like, yeah, she watched the tape.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not watching it. I'm like, you think more people would be talking about this tape?
I know. If all four of them died some crazy way at 10 p.m. on the same night, like, come on.
Yeah.
She had to do all her research though and look at newspaper articles.
Yeah.
She was like, I discovered what happened.
I know.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb.
And playing off of that, she gets a stack of books from the librarian to look for American lighthouses and finds the exact one on the fourth page.
I guess that is true. Yeah.
Dude, I was like,
I didn't even think
thinking,
about
man,
that.
how's she gonna find that? She gets the stack of books.
Yeah.
She gets a book called Lighthouses. She's looking for a specific lighthouse in freaking Oregon. And just finds it so fast.
First couple pages.
I was like, no
true.
way.
There were a lot of moments. Now that we've opened up that door, I would say there were a lot of moments like that where it was right. Like, it was too easy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just right there for
I
her,
know.
And I was like, come on.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
Sake of the plot.
Talking about sake of the plot. Speaking of the plot. So the horse on the ferry.
Yes.
I didn't feel like she needed to bother the horse.
It was so unnecessary.
I feel like it was for the sake of the plot.
She literally goes up to it. She's like, calm down.
Yeah.
And it's not even doing
He's just
anything.
chilling in his trailer. And then he goes crazy and then he freaking kills himself. So I was like, why did you bother him in the first place?
I know. She's like, you need to calm down. It's and then it starts freaking out.
Yeah,
And I'm
if
like,
it-
why'd you do that?
Just don't bother the horse.
Oh my goodness.
I thought that was dumb.
I literally made I made the same note. You left it alone. I had a couple more.
Okay.
She starts coughing while on the phone. This is so stupid, this small. And continues to cough while holding the phone. I was just thinking, who in the world does that?
Yeah, I guess nobody does that.
Like you start coughing like in your like, right to the phone. Like I would put the phone
Gasping
down.
for air.
The person on the other line's like, please put the phone
I
away.
know.
Like
I don't want to hear your nasty cough.
I know.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then my last one was Rachel screams bloody murder because Noah called her.
Oh, right.
And
yeah.
she screams, leave me alone into the phone. And Noah just doesn't even question
Yeah, they
it.
never addressed that.
He's just like, yeah, like, where are you? And I was like, dude, if Marin freaking screamed, leave me alone, I'd be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What's wrong?
That's a great point. My last one. Why did Richard Morgan hit Rachel over the head? Only to just then go upstairs and then they just have a conversation. Like I didn't feel like there was a need to knock her out. You know, like or attempt to. I don't know what he was trying to do. But he hits her on the head. You're like, oh, he's like a bad guy. Like he's going to do something to her. He just walks away, goes upstairs. They have a brief conversation. And then he does kill himself in the bathtub. But like, why did you hit her on the head?
That's so true.
So random.
I never thought about that. It didn't make any sense.
I don't know if it was just to like add suspense to see him standing behind her while she's watching the tape. And there had to be this kind of climactic moment in that scene. But it from there lost all the momentum because you're like, wait, now he's just walking and now they're having a conversation. Like, why did he hit her on the head?
Yeah, that was so weird.
Yeah, that is kind of a nitpick, but.
No, that makes sense. I don't know why he did that.
Yeah.
Is there anything we would change about the film?
So, again, it's harder. And I do think this is a good film, obviously, because it's on our list, as I say, almost every week. I would have shown less of Samara as a little girl. Maybe, like, for example, when she's sitting in the chair and they're like asking her questions, you know, at this, well, it was like a psychiatric ward or something like that. Maybe instead, like, either going back so you don't see her face as much. And like, or same with like the well scene. Like if the mom is about to kill her, like show it from afar. Like, I don't know. I didn't love seeing her face for some reason as like a human, and like maybe have like recordings that she listens to of the interviews with Samara, but not. I don't know. I think they like showed too many details of her face, and sometimes just showing her as a whole too much. But
dude, I totally agree. Like making her more of a mystery.
Yeah,
because like she was just very human.
Yeah,
like you said, and so. I totally agree with that. I said make Rachel freak out more, maybe about only having like one day left to live. She's like super chill.
Yes.
Until they're at the cabin and she has 30 minutes left. She's like, you need to look after Aiden.
Yeah.
And Noah's like, he only has one day left too.
Yeah, randomly. Because they're just sitting there. She's like, you have to help him. I'm like,
you have to help him. Like,
you're
okay, well,
now,
Noah only has a day left too. So yeah, you're just now talking to him about this.
Yeah. I said that I would have, and I've told you this before, I hate making this critique, but I would say I think I might have tightened up the middle of the film a little bit. I don't think it needed to be as long as it was. And I was seeing other people say that because Ringu, the original, is like an hour and 35 minutes. I think even like an hour 45 would have done the job, but it's just hard to do because I know like, as a creator, I was just telling Adam about this because I'm writing something right now, but like you feel like everything has a place and you're like, I can't take that out because it serves this purpose or that purpose. But I don't know. I think there's some things here that could have been trimmed down or cut away just to make it a little more cohesive. Because there were times where, and I know somebody who hates this movie because they said it's just super boring. But I think that's just because it's not like a traditional horror film. It's more of a slow, investigative film. I think they could have tied some stuff up.
I think the intro could have been scarier.
Yeah.
Which may be more of a hot take. I don't know what to do, but I don't know.
I could see that. There's more you could do there.
Yeah.
It's a very subtle moment.
No, the quick cut back to Katie's body was, in my opinion, scarier than the entire intro combined.
For sure. And that, to your credit, is late, like a little later in another scene. So it's not really in that moment. But yeah, I agree. It's a very subtle scene that could have been amplified a little bit. Yeah. That was it for me.
Okay. I just said what we already talked about. Taking Samara, looking up and smirking at the end. It takes me out. Yeah. You know.
So would you have just not had that cut at all and it just zooms into his face and he's
Yep. It didn't even zoom into his face, it just showed him at the end.
Oh,
Like I would have had her just standing there with her hair
yeah.
like over her face, and then it cuts.
It does, and you just said this about my other comment. It makes it just more. She's more of like an anomaly, and like it's a mysterious, spirit that's just like out to just.
It's not a person killing another person.
Yeah, but showing her face and the smirk, and I get that.
Yeah,
that wasn't the same. No. They had a different actor, surely, under all the makeup than the little girl playing Samara. I would assume.
I don't know.
Maybe, or maybe it was the child actor. I don't know.
I
guess we'll have to look
That's a
that
good
up.
question. Yeah, casting
was great.
Yeah, Naomi Watts
Yep.
was perfect.
I love it when directors cast unknown actors and it pays off. I think that's so fun because then you can get, some breakout roles from them. And obviously Naomi Watts, she's had quite a career, since the early 2000s. So,
I know. She's great.
I mean, I was thinking about that, like filming The Ring. And then like just a couple years later, like Peter Jackson hits you up and he's like, hey, you'd be like, oh my gosh, this guy is making like some of the greatest films right now with like the Lord of the Rings franchise. I'm totally in. Like, that's just
100%.
life changing. So good for her.
I know. And then this director goes on to make freaking Pirates, and
oh my gosh, yeah.
So it's like a good win.
I
for
still
her.
can't believe he directed Pirates.
That was the craziest thing to me.
Yeah. That and Hans Zimmer, just
so wild.
Zimmer.
Yeah. I said it would have been interesting to see Jay Connolly in this just because I love her and I haven't seen her in a horror, but I wouldn't pick her over Naomi.
Yeah.
Okay, so bear with me. A little crazy. It would never happen, ever.
Okay.
But imagine a younger Leo in Noah's role.
Yeah.
Not a typical role for him, especially considering it's a supporting role.
I don't know why I'm thinking like Shutter Island, but like, that like investigative role a little bit.
But he would have been great. It'd be cool to see him in like a horror. Well, he's in Shutter Island, but
I could see that.
Least favorite part of the film. What's funny is I said something similar to what you would change. I said seeing too much of Samara.
Oh yeah.
It would have made it better to keep her more obscure, especially at the very end. But I said the honorable mention would be the fact that it was so easy for them to crack this wildly complex case within a matter of a week.
Wait, that was so my first one. I just reiterated seeing Samara so much. My second one is just connecting the dots and how well it works out for them.
Oh my gosh.
But I get it. You don't want the movie to be 3 hours long. I already made my complaint about it being an hour and 55 minutes. But it did make every piece of the puzzle just so easy to piece together. Like everything was like, I wonder where that happened. Oh, there it is. I found it. It's like so easy for them.
I know. Well, and I even was thinking, it was like day 6 and I'm like, okay, she still has like a lot to figure out. Like what is like, then they just stumble upon. Yeah.
Even finding the tape, how she did, she just looks over at a shelf of VHS tapes.
Yes.
And she's like, I bet that's the one.
That's the one. It's like the one without the...
the sleeve. And she takes it and sure enough, it's the tape. It's like, all right, this just happened way too easily.
There's only one of them in the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaking crazy. Title of the film and movie poster.
So I actually really liked the title.
Okay.
I do think there are a lot of other ways they could have gone about it. But did you say the author explained how it's like that,
the circle?
I liked that as part of the title. I thought that was really interesting because it does reflect that endless cycle of the tape. But I also thought it was cool thinking about the ring that you see at the top of the well, like looking up, like you see the ring form from like the cover. So I like when it has like additional meaning to just, rather than just throwing out a word and being like, that's the title.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
How'd you feel about it?
I agree. I go back and forth because like at first I was like, it felt like kind of a stretch because I was like, how does that have to do with like people actually dying?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like there's so much symbolism in it that it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I get it.
That is fair.
The movie poster, I like it for the simplicity. I don't really understand the whole before you die, you see the ring thing.
Yes, that tagline is so random.
It is so random.
Because that doesn't that only really applies to Noah. He sees, like I said, he picks up the water and there's the ring on the table. But like, it's not like a part of the film where it's like, when you see the ring, like
you're gonna die. No, it's you have 7 days.
It just felt like they just shoehorned that in.
I know. I'm like, just freaking say 7 days.
Yeah.
That's a better tagline.
Oh, Wow, there it is. I was gonna say, so what would you say instead? That's a great one.
Golly, it's so stupid.
It was funny though when I saw this on our template because I immediately thought of the other poster that I see all the time for this movie, where it's like the well, and then it says The Ring with Naomi Watts like within the words, like screaming. But I like the one on IMDb a lot more because it is more simple and it just looks cool. But I don't like the tagline. But yeah, they work.
Yeah. What would be a worse name for the film title? I was a little unhinged last time, so very.
I've just been firing off whatever immediately comes to my mind.
That's what I did.
That has been my approach to this part. So, first thought, Ring Around the Rosie. That's it.
That's great.
The second one,
That's so
thinking
good.
about the other title, The Never Ending Story. That's it. That is all I have this week. And you know what? I'm saying it with my chest.
Oh, man.
That's all
I'm
I
glad
have.
you did. Please do.
Oh.
I have 3. Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
I'm not even going to elaborate. Just going to let people figure it out.
It's cryptic, guys. I
It's
promise.
cryptic. Just fingernails in the well wall. That's all I'm thinking.
Okay.
Okay. No, that's not the second one. That's
Oh,
because
I
the
was like,
Silence of the Lambs.
okay, Adam, we're
That's not the second one.
getting descriptive here. Fingernails in the wall.
Yes, that was my second
I
one.
really
Fingernails
thought that's
in the
what you
well
I
wall.
was like, okay.
That's so funny. Don't say that's why I put Silence of the Lambs. Okay, sorry. My second one is just Well Girl.
Okay. Well, girl.
Last one is The Fling
Okay.
between, Rachel and Noah.
Yeah.
That's how Aiden
Hey.
came to be.
They could have had a future together. If it wasn't for freaking Samara.
You want to know a fun fact?
Always.
So, last 2 weeks ago, when we were recording Talk to Me, I realized in my notes that I had left out worst name for the film title. I'd made it blank. And I was panicking while we were recording.
Wait, serious? So did you come up
And I
with
was
something?
just trying to come up with something.
Wait.
And that's why I said something unhinged, because I couldn't think of anything else.
What did you end up saying?
It was hand job.
That's right. Wow, that's a great one though. Because
Well, thank you.
just
But
for coming up with that on the
I
spot.
just felt bad because it was so unhinged. But I was like, I literally was panicking while you guys were saying yours. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't have it.
That's great.
Oh man.
Well,
Whew.
it's time for our spiciest part of the episode.
Spicy.
We are entering Hot Takes Hallway.
Hot takes hallway.
Hot Takes Hallway. We go with our favorite reviews.
Favorite reviews. 1 to 10 stars. 10 stars.
10 stars.
Did you do IMDb, Letterboxd, both?
Both.
Nice.
Yeah. My first one comes from Caleb. Yeah, you might know him.
Caleb.
This is my forever go-to rainy day movie. Every time I watch it, I love it more and more. I'm obsessed with the bluish green tint and how there's always the sound of rain falling in the background. This also features one of my all-time favorite scores by Hans Zimmer. So he knew before we did. The cinematography is so beautiful, and Naomi Watts is a powerhouse in this role. I love this movie so much, and it's really just perfect in my opinion. I liked this review because we all love a good rainy day vibe. So you threw that in there, and I was hooked. And he also just pointed out all the things that I also loved about it. So
Yeah. I actually saw several rainy day comments.
really?
It's like, this is the perfect rainy day movie, I guess.
Huh.
Just do a double feature of this and Prisoners, and you got your 2.
Exactly. You're good to go.
You got your feel goods. Just kidding. Okay, my first one. I only did Letterboxd this time. Don't hate me. From Dogly.
Okay.
You might know him.
Yep.
You have a dog.
Very familiar.
What if I say this is one of the best horror movies ever made? Would I be right or right? Between the absolutely timeless story, the incredible cinematography, Naomi Watts' captivating performance, Hans Zimmer's stunning soundtrack, and Gore Verbinski's haunting direction, what's not to like here?
Wow. They always go there.
They
There's
just
always that one
go.
guy who's like,
At least he
greatest-
didn't say the best ever made.
Yeah, one
know.
of. True. My next one comes from WMQSZJZ.
Oh, I
So-
know them.
Yeah. Very popular reviewer.
Super popular name.
They said, this film is amazing. I saw it in theaters when I was 10 on opening day with my mom. We both had no idea what we were about to watch, LOL. We had figured it was something possibly like Lord of the Rings or something. So they didn't see the trailer.
my God.
Anyway, got home after this film and I slept with the lights on for almost a year. LMAO. The scene where you see the chick dead in the closet scared me. Her face psychologically messed with me. Also, Samara coming out of the TV terrified me long term. I'll always love this movie for having been able to truly scare me. Wish I could get that experience again from another film, but I've never had that happen since the first time I saw The Ring.
Wow.
So, again, they pointed out things that we touched on. The closet scene, I remember seeing that when I was younger. Also traumatized me for a while.
Yeah.
So, and the crawling out of the TV, it's great. I did love that they thought it could be like a Lord of the Rings. Like,
no wonder they were traumatized.
yeah, just completely flabbergasted.
Like, so where does Frodo like enter?
Are they in Middle Earth? What is going on?
Wait a second. That's so funny.
You are in for it.
The Ring.
Yeah,
Lord,
I thought that was
so
funny.
All right, my last 10-star review is very short. It's from Cornhole359. You might know him. He played Cornhole. Need her hair routine.
What?
So,
okay, I don't know.
So they
I would agree.
I guess, they were like, how does her hair stay that way?
Yeah. Some good stuff.
Some good stuff. I'm like, Dove. Dove conditioner.
3-in-1.
3-in-1 Dove.
Moving on to 1-star reviews.
Yes.
This comes from Frida Granados, who said, Samara, for all her antics, is not evil. Aiden is evil.
What?
No normal kid calls his mom by her first name. I did think that was interesting. That
Okay.
kind of like made me confused when he first said it. I was like, wait, is she like his adopted mom and he's like rebelling? Or
Yeah,
like,
it didn't make a ton of sense.
maybe she's like, yeah, I thought that was really random. Maybe they were trying to make him feel isolated. I don't know. Like kind of bizarre.
That's maybe what Jennifer Connelly wanted to change.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's
He
just
will
have him
call
call me mom.
I
Maybe. I
am
don't
mom.
know.
Yeah. I thought that was funny.
That's funny. My first one's from Joel Loosely.
Okay.
I just cannot fathom why, in any scenario, you would choose to watch this over the Japanese version. This does everything worse and throws all subtlety out the window in favor of waving the story right in front of your face. The reserved nature of the original is what made it terrifying to me, whereas this was just incredibly boring and uninspired.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it makes me feel like I should watch the original.
I know. That's our next one.
My next one comes from a Krappa who says, this is the only movie in which I wished all of the bad stuff that was happening to the characters was happening to me instead. It is amazing how poorly this movie is executed. It's rare that a movie can take Air Bud and Baby Geniuses and make them seem like Oscars material, but The Ring does the job.
Oh.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
Oh.
I was not a fan of that one. It's
Man,
Baby
wishes
Geniuses.
it was happening to him.
Yeah, I thought that was a really random remark. to make.
I thought he was going to elaborate. He just doesn't.
I wish I was the one that bad things were happening to. I also
He's
hated
just
this
going through a
movie.
tough time.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
Mine's from Matt. The movie that unscared me for all of time. Way overdone. Lots of weird plot holes. I wish ladies would come out of my TV.
Oh my, this guy I could just tell is not it.
Dude, he's critiquing films.
Yeah, come on. Unscared me? What does that even mean?
I don't know.
Then ladies come, if it, ugh, just, I don't know why that like creeps me out. What a weird guy. Hey, but we respect your
Hey,
opinions.
thanks, Matt, for
Hey,
your words.
Good job. Gold star.
Gold star. Do we have any hot takes?
This one was honestly hard for me. It was hard for me to come up with a hot take on this film.
Yeah.
There was nothing that I was passionately like, yep, that's what I'm going to say.
Yep.
I did just kind of reiterate. I said, although I appreciate this whole vibe of a detective story wrapped in a horror film, I did not love how certain parts were executed because at times it did feel a little boring, and Rachel's journey is really about as by the numbers as they come. It's just very laid out. It's pretty easy. So,
Yep.
not as much of a hot take, just kind of like my final staple of an opinion that I know some people disagree with. So,
Yeah. I have 3, but they're not really like wild
Ooh.
hot. They're not like spicy.
okay. Wild.
The first one, going off of what you just said, I would say this is a better mystery than it is a horror film.
Yeah.
I was genuinely intrigued with the storyline, but I was not scared at all.
Yeah. No.
And I was like, but I mean, okay, maybe it scares a younger audience. I remember being scared whenever I was younger.
Yeah.
But like, I was more intrigued this time watching it by the actual mystery unfolding.
Totally. Like unveiling how everything transpired. And,
which also makes sense why we would be more frustrated that everything was so easy because of that aspect.
True.
My second one, it's hard to say this film was even remotely original considering it's literally a remake and based off of a book.
Yeah.
But the whole 7 days concept and girl coming out of the TV has to be one of the most iconic horror movie elements in history.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Anyone dressing up as that or saying 7 days, like you just know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, even like the long hair trope, like hanging in front of the face.
Yes.
Like, it's just very.
And that kind of inspired The Grudge too. I feel
like it had to.
Yeah.
But what's crazy right now is on Adam's side of the room, there is, I keep looking at it behind you, that paper, the print off on the wall of, it looks like it's from The Ring. Right there. That one, I keep looking at it like, ugh, it's the well.
Oh my gosh.
But
hey, that would be terrifying to be trapped in a well like that.
Dude, that's like one of the worst ways to die, I feel
Where
like.
they thought you were dead and you're not.
Especially because she was in there for 7 days. Oof. No, thank you.
Yeah. Not today.
Not today.
Have we heard any hot takes that we agree or disagree with?
So the main one I disagreed with, I saw a lot of people hating on the cinematography.
What?
They didn't like the blue-green hue. And they said I saw one person who was like, it hurt my eyes. I couldn't even frustrate. And like, they was trying to be like artsy. And I thought it was really cool looking. It definitely serves its purpose as creating a certain setting that just feels, like I said earlier, cold and wet. And like you said, that they said, sickly in a way. So I thought it was good. I disagree with that one.
No, I totally disagree. I mean, maybe they're like Wes Anderson fans. And they want everything to be super colorful.
Bright.
I saw a lot of people preferring to watch the original over this remake, which I can't really agree or disagree with considering I haven't seen the original. I did see somebody say this was as solid as the original on Letterboxd, though.
Okay.
So there's a divide.
All right.
In opinions.
Fair enough.
What is the hottest of all hot takes? I found another quote. They said, absolutely incredible. I wish this much effort and love was put into modern day horror movies. And I'm just thinking they must not be watching some of the ones coming out today because I do not feel that.
I don't feel that at all. Maybe some of them. Like there are some horror films where I'm like, God, that was just sent out to make money.
Insidious, the most recent one.
Yeah, for sure.
The most frustrating.
Continuing to ride that wave of the franchise.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah, that one I think you could say, hey, I wish they cared about this more.
Yeah.
But then you have other films. Talk to Me was last year. We obviously just reviewed that one. It's a great one. But then you, like you mentioned earlier, Ari Aster films alone.
Yeah.
Trump that Ari. Like it's.
Yeah, between him and Eggers, like.
Yeah.
Dude, they're putting in the thought.
I think that's a weak claim.
I agree.
But.
What was yours?
It is hard because the most controversial thing people are saying is that the original doesn't.
I know.
And I haven't seen it.
Probably this is confused with Lord of the Rings.
I mean, if we could put that in there, then that would count as mine. I don't know. That one's hard because I feel like there are just not many things about this movie that make it just there. It's hard to find something that's like that's a spicy take.
I know,
but
not a lot of spice.
Not really.
This one, that's okay. Do we agree with the IMDb rating of 7.1 out of 10?
7.1.
I go back and forth.
Yeah.
Because I want to say yes because of how iconic it is.
Right.
And I love Zimmer.
Yeah.
I love Verbinski.
Totally.
I actually really like this cinematography and I love Watts.
Yeah.
But there are so many things.
Yeah. There's some loose ends.
Yeah.
Some things that don't make sense. It is hard. I'm like teeter-tottering because I can see both sides.
Like
maybe
6.8,
maybe that's my answer. Maybe I should stay at 7.1 because I can't decide. But
yeah.
I'm feeling more like, and I always do this, and I know it's annoying, but
6.
I might just go like, I might say 7. This is just on the dot.
Okay.
I always move it by like 1 little decimal point, but I think I'm going to say 7. So
yeah, no, that's fair. I think I'm going to say 4.4.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, I hated it. Okay, chill factor. What is the chill factor? Our favorite part of the film.
That's also hard for me.
It's hard for me too. I have like 1 and then like 3 honorable mentions.
Yeah, it's down between 2. I would say, which I'm surprised. In my notes, I have one thing, but I might say it's number 2. My number 1 is probably the quick shot of of Katie.
Katie.
Yeah, I think it's just super effective. I really like it. I think it's just, especially being that early, it's very creepy. I honestly, part of me is selfish and greedy, and I want more little clips like that throughout the movie. But I would say that just worked super well. It obviously, I remember scarring me when I was younger. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Honorable mention would probably be for me Noah's death, because it is such a great scene.
Yeah.
But
this is the first time saying this. It's kind of cheating. But I'd say the marketing.
Whoa.
Using the tapes in surrealistic horror for viral marketing is genius. And it's like makes it way more of an experience.
Well, now that I've heard that, that is one of the best parts of the film.
Dude, it's so sick.
That's so cool.
Because they don't really do that stuff anymore today.
No, never. Which I wish they did.
I mean, they kind of did it for Barbie. The amount of marketing that went into it.
There was a
to
ton
make it an
of
experience
for Barbie. I feel like everything was pink last summer.
Yeah, and they left a VHS tape of
yeah.
Barbie.
It was cursed.
No, but my honorable mention, I was saying it's crazy because I also agree that the quick cut to Katie.
Yeah, it's just so good.
Just the quick cuts in general.
Yeah.
And the fact, I mean, they did the same thing with Noah at the very end.
Yeah.
But I like Katie's more because you're like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, I also said the iconic scene is just Samara coming out of the TV.
Yeah,
like,
it's so iconic.
It's just,
yeah. That's a good one.
Do we recommend this film?
100%.
Yeah.
I think if you're interested, I say this a lot, but if you're interested in the genre, this one's definitely a staple that you should look to. Especially it's PG-13, it's more mild, but it's got a good story. It's iconic, a great, like I said earlier, horror film villain. There's a lot going for it. So I would recommend it. But if you like, more uppity gore, like it's probably not for you.
This is not for you.
But
no, I agree. I agree that like if you like, I just said I agree twice. If you like mysteries, this is a good one.
For sure.
More surrealistic and dark than more mystery lovers would like.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good mix.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're a horror fanatic and looking for a good horror film,
Yeah.
this is probably not that, but oh well.
Oh well.
Where can I watch this? YouTube, Apple, Amazon Prime, and Google, and you sadly have to pay to stream it.
Although YouTube was free.
Was it really free on YouTube?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Wait.
That never happens anymore. I went on yesterday to rent it, and then I opened it, and I was like, it just said play, so I hit play. And then I did it again today when I was writing my notes. I went back to certain scenes. It's free on
and
YouTube.
then you got a call.
And then you have to call.
You're gonna die in 7 days.
So I have a week. So thank goodness. I've lived long enough.
But it's free. So it's worth it.
It is free, which is really crazy. I feel like that only happens, like free movies on YouTube are normally like really bad. So.
I know. Well, hey, there you go.
Hey.
Never mind. Free on YouTube.
Yep.
Well, that wraps up Chamber of Chills number 35, top horror films of all time. Woo. The Ring, 2002. Thank you guys so much for listening to our 17th episode.
Wow.
Crazy. Here is the riddle for next week's episode. In the void of space. Yeah.
I remember now.
Yep. In the void of space, no one hears your scream. A mother's wrath, a survivor's dream. Metal beasts and shadows that glide. Where does the true terror reside? Hatched from silence, they grow and thrive. What am I that keeps the feel alive? Okay, it'll be fun.
That voice made me miss how I'm already having October withdrawals. Like I miss it so much.
Yeah. Ugh.
But yeah, I can't wait to review Haunted Mansion next week. So
oh, I know.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. They're gonna love it.
It's gonna really catch them by surprise.
Yes. One of the best horror films of all time. Okay, don't forget to follow us on the 2 social accounts, Instagram and TikTok at The Chamber of Chills. We post so much on TikTok.
Dang it.
We will eventually. We'll post on TikTok.
Eventually.
We primarily post on Instagram. Please DM us, comment on our posts, or send us an email at podcast@thechamberofchills.com if you have any questions, thoughts, or drumroll, please don't forget, submit your hot takes. Also share with your friends who like films and have them submit their hot takes. Even if they haven't listened to our episodes, they can also submit their hot takes.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we have 5 more episodes until we do our next Hot Takes Hallway episode where we want to read your hot takes about these films.
Nice.
Wait, I think it's 4 more films. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
I feel like our last Hot Takes episode was 10 years ago.
Yeah, it feels like it was 10 years ago.
I'm ready for that. I'm excited.
It's 2014.
for the next one.
Yeah,
I'm
that's when it
expecting
was.
you guys to send in some heat. We need some
Please,
new
we need
ones.
some heaters.
Absolute bangers, dude.
We need some bangers. Please send in your bangers and we'll
talk about them.
talk about your bangers. Okay.
Is that
Bye.
bangers? Bye.
Thanks for listening. Stay tuned for what's next.
Bye.